Okay, guys, so tomorrow you are going to be taking a test on systems of equations. Going back over that, systems, remember two or more lines on the same graph. And you are looking for the point or the ordered pair where they intersect, where they cross. That is considered, or that is called our solution. Solution. So our solution, I'm just going to write it in short words, is our crossing point, our crossing ordered pair. Remember, they can cross one time, they can cross none, or they can cross an infinite number of times. So number one, it says which pair of equations corresponds to the two lines in the graph. So if I try to zoom in here and I look at this graph, I notice that they don't cross at a good ordered pair. So what would be best is for me to take the equation of both lines and then compare it to my mx plus b here. So I'm just going to number this as line 1. Maybe I should make this pen a little less thicker. So this is going to be my line 1 right here. And I want to find m and b. The easiest point to find on a line is b. And I notice that it is a positive 1. Okay. And my slope, you want to find two good points, do rise over run, down 1, negative 1, run 2. So negative 1 over 2. When you put it in a slope intercept form, equation form, it gives you negative 1/2 x plus 1. And if you look at your four options, there's only one that has a negative 1/2 x plus 1, but we're still going to continue so we can double check our work. We're going to number this line 2 and put my m and b up here. M, b, put it together and you get y equals slope intercept form. So b is the easiest point to find. B is my intersection point, my y-intercept, negative 1. And you can also find two good points to find the slope, and we're going up. So that's a positive 2, up 2, right 1. So 2 over 1 reduces or simplifies to 2. Y equals 2x minus 1. And there's my equation. Now, there's other ways to find the answer, because every method that we learned last week will give you the answer, the same answer. It's just a different way. So last week, we practiced intersect method first. We graphed it and then we practiced intersect method. So let's do that first. I'm going to minimize this. That way I can actually scroll over and move my calculator this way. That works. So intersect method. Intersect method works when your equations are already in y equals, or else you should already know that I would use matrix. So I'm going to go here to y equals and I'm going to type in 2x plus 1 and then negative 1/2. I cannot use alpha y equals. I prefer that you use alpha y equals, but I can't. So negative 1/2 x plus 1. I go second, trace, second calculate 5. We're looking for the point of intersection. Wait for those lines to graph and then press enter, enter, enter. And you get negative 0.8, negative 0.6. Now these are decimal points. So negative 0.8 and negative 0.6. This would be something that's difficult to find, but you could guesstimate where this point would be. Negative 0.8, negative 0.6 would probably be somewhere here. You're saying, and so that is saying that the point where they cross is over here. It cannot be A. Another way that you could look, or another thing you could do, is compare the graphs. The point of intersection for these two is over here in the 1, 2, 3rd quadrant, and the point of intersection here is in the 1st quadrant. So definitely can't be A anyway. Let's look at B. Clear, clear. Negative 2x plus 1, and then 1/2 x minus 1. second, trace 5. Enter, enter, enter. This one is 0.8, negative 0.6. So you notice if I were to try to graph this on the coordinate plane, 0.8 is here, negative 0.6 is down here. You see that your point of intersection is in the fourth quadrant, 1, 2, 3, 4. That also doesn't match. Let me go with D, since I know D is also not an answer. So negative 2x minus 1, and then that should be 1/2 x plus, too far, plus second, trace 5. Enter, enter, enter. My point of intersection is negative 0.8, positive 0.6, negative 0.8 on the graph would be going this way, positive 0.6 over here, making the point of intersection in quadrant 2. So, and you also match the graphs, only C ends up matching, which I guess, let me show you, negative, positive 2x, and that should be a negative. So if I look at the graphs, if I compare them, point of intersection is in the first quadrant, point of intersection is in the first quadrant. Different ways to solve that one. Let's look at number 2. Which ordered pair represents the solution? Now, I guess I have to zoom out. We know that the solution to the system is the point where they cross. Now, if I look at my equations, both of those have x and y on the same side. Let me see if I can open up. Crap. I need to open up my reference chart. Graph, cover page, practice, meet the, no. Ooh. Maybe pictures, no. Here it is. Nice. Let's do new copy. Checking. All right. So you notice that both of your equations have x and y on the same side. X and y are on the same side of the equation. That means that these are in standard form. For standard form, you use a specific one if you don't want to solve for y, and that is matrix. Okay, so let's go back to this review. We're going to put a 1 right here. And all of these already have numbers. So the numbers that I'm going to use in matrix is 2, 1, 2, -3, -2, -6. So second matrix, edit, always in 2 times 3, 2 equations, 3 numbers each, 2, enter, 1, enter, 2, and then -3, -2, -6, second quit. Go back into matrix. We've already been to edit. Let's go to math. I'm going to go up to the 1 with 2 R's, BREF, press enter only 1 time, matrix, enter, enter. Unless it says 0, 0, 0 or 0, 0, 1, this becomes your point of intersect or your intersection point, your solution, which gives us A. Now, if you wanted to, you could, if you couldn't get the steps to matrix, technically you could solve both of these for y. So if I were to try to solve that first one, I subtract 2x, and this is actually a 1 step because I bring down 1y, which is the same as y, -2x plus 2. Here, I add 3x plus 3x. I hope that I need to put some more space in between these next year. -2y, bring down 3x minus 6, and then divide by -2. So you get y equals -3/2 x, -6 divided by -2 is +3. So now you have 2 equations that are solved for y. So -2x plus 2. And then the other equation is -3/2 x plus 3. So second trace, 5. And I'm just doing this so I can show you that they both give you the same answer, -2, 6, right there. Both matrix and y equals or the intersect method will give you the same answer. Number 3, what is the value of y? So I don't just need the solution to the system. I specifically need the value of y. Now I do notice that both of those equations, once again, they are in standard form where x and y are on the same side. So this would, if you could remember the steps to matrix, it'd be easy. So it's already in 2 times 3. So I'm just going to type in my numbers, -4, 8, 0, 2, 5, 27. Second quit, second matrix, math. Too far. Enter, second matrix, enter, enter. And there's my point of intersection. It doesn't say 0, 0, 0, doesn't say 0, 0, 1. So my point of intersect, the crossing point is 6, 3. Now, remember on the STAR test, they may specifically ask you for the value of y or the value of x. So in this case, my y is 3. That is the number they're looking for. Now, once again, intersect method will give you the same answer if you don't know how to use matrix. You could solve for y. So solving for y requires me to add 4x first, bring down 8y, 4x plus 0, divide by 8. And you simplify, reduce every fraction. So 4 divided by 8 is 1/2, not 2, plus 0. I'm going to solve the other one as well. Minus 2x. Bring down your 5y, -2x plus 27, and then divide by 5. -2/5 x plus 27/5. That also does not reduce. Clear this out. So 1/2 x plus 0. You don't have to include that plus 0 if you don't want to. And then -2 divided by 5 x plus 27 divided by 5. Second trace, 5. Wait for it. Enter, enter, enter. 6, 3. Point of intersection is 6, 3. Gave me the same answer. And I know that the y value, y equals 3. Okay, so the next one, number 4. They're wanting us to match the equations with the correct solution on the graphs. But if you look at it, we're still looking for the solution. We're trying to find where these lines cross. If I try to zoom in, or if you look on your piece of paper, you'll notice that these points don't really cross at a good intersection. Neither one does. So I'm going to have to find the solution here first. I look at my equations and I notice that both x and y are on the same side, so they are in standard form. Because they're in standard form, I could easily find that point of intersection, or I could find the solution just by using matrix. So that's what I'm going to do here. And I'm also going to insert that number 1 right there. So let's use matrix. Second matrix, edit, 2, 3. Now 3, oops, I forgot to insert a 1 right there. 3, 1, 5, and then 1, -2, 4. Second quit. All right, be rough. Did it freeze on me? Should I push enter again? Oh, it froze on me. Uh-oh. Ah. Oh, don't tell me I'm gonna have to type this again. All right, I'm gonna pause my video and then continue. Okay, so my calculator on my computer stopped working, and I'm afraid if I start it over, I'm not going to be able to continue this video. So I'm just going to do it this way. Second quit, go back into matrix, go over to math, find ref with 2 R's, matrix, enter, enter. And there's my point of intersection, 2, -1. So you're going to go in and try to find the graph with the point of intersection 2, -1. Now 2, -1 is right here. So it cannot be A. 2, -1, same spot. Can't be C. 2, -1, not in the correct spot, but it does cross that line. And my answer is B, 2, -1. Once again, you could solve these for Y and find your answer that way, but if you know how to do the steps for matrix, it's just so much easier to not have to go through all that. Because there's just so many errors that can happen when you solve for Y. This is the one that a lot of people have a little bit of trouble understanding. So I'm going to go through those points. I'm going to plot them. That way you can see where it's coming from. All right, number 5. So you already know that the solution to a system is the point or the point of intersection, the ordered pair where both of the lines cross. Now, on the STAR test, you could possibly be given 2 tables and have to find it that way. This one is actually easier than it looks, but just so you can make that connection, I'm going to graph both lines and you'll see why it's not necessary to do so. Uh-oh, I already graphed them. Whoops, let me erase this. My bad. Okay. And I'm gonna go like that. All right, so the first ordered pair is, okay, so the first ordered pair is 2, 3. So I'm gonna plot that right here. 0, 5 right here. -2, 7. And then -4, 9 is right here. I've plotted this so many times today, so that's just how that goes. So I just know where the points are at this point. So I'm going to draw my line. Once again, the reason I'm showing it to you on a graph is so you see why it's not necessary to actually plot. -2, 7. So -2, 7 is actually right here. -1, 4. 0, 1. And 1, -2. So now I'm going to plot that line. And you'll notice that the point of intersection, or which is right here, this is where these 2 lines cross. So if you think about it, it's the same exact point for the red line as it is for the blue line, meaning they're sharing the same exact numbers. So if you look at these 2 tables and compare them, which 2 numbers are exactly the same, or which 2 points are exactly the same for both lines? -2, 7, -2, 7. So that is my solution. My solution is -2, 7. Now, once again, remember, they could specifically ask you for the X or the Y value, so make sure you're reading correctly. Number 6, which types of lines have no solution? If there's no solution, that means there's no crossing. And if they don't cross, then they must be parallel. Okay. On the STAR test, remember, they're not going to ask you which types of line, or they won't ask you what is the solution and your response will be parallel. No, your response will still be no solution. If you see a pair of parallel lines, that's because there is no solution. But we just want you to recognize that parallel lines don't cross. If they don't cross, there's no solution. Number 7, you have 2 equations. This will come up on STAR test, 100% guaranteed. You're going to have 2 lines where where one of them is already in slope intercept form, the other one is in standard. So you have two options to find that solution to the system. Option number one would be, since we did teach you how to convert to standard form, for me, option number one would be to convert this one to standard form, punch it into matrix. So let's do that first. So I'm going to punch this, or I'm going to solve it, minus 2x. I bring down that negative 2x plus y equals negative 2. Now remember, we can't have a negative in that first term. So I'm going to put it over 1, and I'm going to multiply by the bottom number, which is 1. But also, once again, it doesn't matter if that negative is in the top or bottom. You want to get rid of that negative as well. So that should give you positive 2x whenever you distribute or multiply. Or I guess I should show you, right? Clear. Alpha y equals negative 2 over 1 times negative 1 gives you a positive 2. And then negative 1 times y is just negative 1y. Negative 2 times negative 1, positive 2. I just want to show you this other one because it's a fraction. Let's go into matrix. Now, the numbers that we're going to use are right here. 2, negative 1, 2, 6, 3, negative, or 6, 3, and 2. So 2, negative 1, 2, 6, 3, 2. Second quit, matrix, find BREF, enter, enter. And you do get this point of intersection, which is 0.66 or negative 0.66. You could change this to a fraction by pressing math, enter, enter. And it's just letting you know that the point of intersection or the solution is 2/3 and negative 2/3, depending on what they're asking on the STAR test, because if it's a bubble in answer, obviously you're going to use a decimal form. If it's not, it might give you a fraction. Okay, now the other option is to use intersect method. You could use intersect method if both of these are solved for y. Now this one is solved for y, but this one isn't. So I'm going to turn around and solve this one for y. That way you could see that both methods give you the same exact answer. So negative 6x, you get the 3y, negative 6x plus 2 divided by 3. You get y equals 6 divided by 3 gives you negative 1/2 x plus 2 over 3. So yes, it does say as a fraction, that's okay. So I go to y equals to put these two equations in. So 2x minus 2. And then now I'm going to put my other fraction, negative 1 over 2x plus 2 over 3. Second trace, number 5 for intersect. Wait for them to graph. When that first question pops up, enter, enter, enter. And they give you the point of intersection, which I think I typed something in wrong. Let me look. Negative. I did put, hold on. 2x minus 2, negative 1/2. Oh, that's why. I'm sure somebody noticed that. Negative 6 divided by 3 is actually negative 2, not negative 1/2. Let me switch this back. Cool, delete. All right, so negative 2x plus 2/3. My bad. Wait for that to graph. And there you go. Same exact answer. 0.66, negative 0.67, or negative 0.66. Next one. So solve the systems by graphing. This one specifically asking you to graph. So if tomorrow's test asks you to graph the problem before finding the solution, you can. What I've had some students do, they notice that it is in standard form, so they go ahead and punch it into matrix. You can do that. But I also will need you to graph it to get full credit. And I'm just getting the numbers from here, -2, 1, 1, -1, 1, 1. Let me go ahead and write that in just in case some of you are confused. And I think these equations are a little too close together, sorry. That's where they separate. Second quiz, second matrix, go to math, find BREF, matrix, enter. And there's your answer. Now, it's not 0, 0, 0 or 0, 0, 1. So my ordered pair where they cross or the solution is 0, 1. But it does say to graph it. So you do need to solve for y. To solve for y here, you add 2x. So you get y equals 2x plus 1. So I'm going to start at the 1 up 2 over 1. There's my line. Okay, it is positive, so it's going to go up from left to right there. And then the other line, it's a -1x, so you add 1x plus 1x. Now 1y is the same, so you get y equals 1x plus 1. Start at the 1, up 1 over 1. The slope is positive 1 over 1. And there's your other line. Don't worry, the rest of this is going to go by pretty quick. So there's a point of intersection. The point of intersection is 0, 1. You could find it by graphing. You could put it in standard form. Now that they're solved for y, you could also, just to make sure that you give the right point or the right ordered pair, 2x plus 1, 1x plus 1, second trace, 5. Let's say you graph it, you still don't know which one is the point of intersection. It's already in y equals. And there's your answer, 0, 1. I would much rather you find that point of intersection and just get points taken off because you don't know how to graph than to not do any part at all. Okay. Here's another one. You have two equations. They're solved for y. Same thing. Even though you could technically see the solution or the point of intersection on the graph, if you don't know how to find it by looking at the graph, find it by using your calculator tricks, -3. Second trace 5, wait for it to graph, and then press enter, 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 and you get -2, -1. But that is also the point of intersection. My x value is -2, my y value is -1, -2, -1. But since both of these equations that they give you are solved for y, you could also find it that way as well. Now, you're going to get a problem where there's a lot of extra additional information that you really don't need. When that happens, I like to jump straight to the question before finding the solution, before finding the answer. Now it's asking, in what month is the total cost for both plans the same? Okay. Just like we looked here with the tables, we noticed that at the solution or at the point of intersection, the ordered pairs are exactly the same. They're using the exact same numbers. We know that the solution to this one also gives us the exact same numbers. So my solution to this is 4, 1 or 4, 100. Here's my 100. My x value is 4. So 4, 100. But they're specifically asking for the months. My months are down here. So we're talking about the 4th month. Now, those of you that know your months, we're talking about April, right? So 4th month. All right, so all of this writing, we do expect to see it on your review sheet. If you're one of those people stuck watching the video for homework, This should prepare you, if you're okay with this, you should be prepared for tomorrow's test. If you feel like you're still going to be stuck on one of them, make sure you show up for tutorials. All right, have a great day and good luck tomorrow.